This conference will now be recorded.
Hi all, good morning, good evening. Welcome to the demo session of JMeter Beginner to Master with Groovy, Dynatrace, Kubernetes, Docker, InfluxDB, Grafana, Jenkins, and BlazeMeter. So this training is exclusively provided by Isha Training Solutions, and my name is Chandra. I will be your trainer for this training. So right now, I'm going to take you through the course curriculum. So before that, I would like to introduce myself. So I have 14 years of experience in performance testing and engineering. I have experience on different tools like JMeter, LoadRunner, NeoLoad, Gatling, and application performance monitoring tools like Dynatrace, AppDynamics, Datadog. Have worked on multiple projects, delivered them successfully. Also, I have been providing training on different tools, technologies as part of Isha Training Solutions for more than 3 years now. So yeah, I have conducted multiple batches on all these tools. So coming to the course curriculum, so before I go to the course curriculum, so I just would like to add some points over here, that you all are going to have the access to these sessions, because the sessions are going to be recorded. Each and every session is going to be recorded, and you all will be having the lifetime access to the videos. And whenever the session is in progress, I'll request you all to please be on mute. Yeah, I haven't started sharing anything, so I'll let you know. Yeah, so when the session is in progress, I'll request you all to please be on mute. Whenever you have any queries, please unmute yourself and ask the queries. Also, when my screen is on sharing, I'll not be able to see your chat messages. So I'll encourage everyone, to unmute yourself and ask your queries whenever you have them. Okay, so with that, we will kickstart the demo session for today. So first of all, I'm going to show you the course curriculum. So let me share my screen, everyone. I hope my screen should be visible to all of you, right? So So coming to the course curriculum, JMeter Beginner to Master with Groovy, Dynatrace, Kubernetes, Docker, InfluxDB, Grafana, and BlazeMeter. In addition to that, I'm also going to cover the Jenkins part, guys. Okay, so I have already introduced myself, so we'll directly go to the course curriculum. So if you see here, we have first I'm going to tell you about the performance testing basics. So I'm going to introduce you to performance testing. We are not going to spend much time on this, but again, it is going to be beneficial for all those participants who do not have experience on performance testing. And whoever has experience on performance testing, you will be able to brush up your performance testing skills. Okay, and these introductions will help you to understand how a performance testing project is executed, how it is delivered. So you will have a complete idea of that. And then we are going to focus on the JMeter part. So in the performance testing, I'm going to tell you about performance testing introduction, what is performance testing, why performance testing is required, and what are the different types of performance testing which we do. Okay, and then we are going to see about the performance testing life cycle. So how, when a project on performance testing starts and is being executed, what is the life cycle of performance testing? What are the different activities? What are the different phases which we carry out in performance testing? Okay, so one moment, guys. Yeah. So in performance testing life cycle, we are going to cover like the different phases of performance testing, and in each phase what are the different activities carried out. Okay, in each phase what are the different activities carried out, so that you can get a very fair idea. Okay, in this phase I have to do these activities, and along with that I'm going to discuss what is the entry criteria and what is the exit criteria for each phase in performance testing. Okay, for each phase, what is the entry criteria, what is exit criteria, means when should I start this particular phase and when I should end a particular phase. So in that you will be able to know what is the entry criteria and exit criteria. Now when we deliver projects, everything is not smooth, guys, right? Everything is not smooth. So I'm also going to discuss what are the different challenges which we encounter in each of the phases of performance testing. I'll take a pause here. Any queries, anyone?
Yeah, hello, hi,
Yeah.
uh, Chandra. I have a one query. So I have experience in only manual testing. Like you're saying that only JMeter. The like in performance testing is different or JMeter is different, right?
Yes, performance testing, is a type of testing, right? You are from manual testing, as you mentioned. In
Yes,
case of manual testing, you will be logging defects, right?
right,
So you would be logging the defects. You can log the defects in an Excel sheet and share with your stakeholders, or whatever defect management tool is getting used. It could be application lifecycle management, or it could be Zira, anything, right? Over where you
right.
log the defects. Now you are into a type of testing, but you are using different tools for logging the defects, uploading the test cases, right? Similarly, performance testing is a specialization, right? It is a function basically, or it is a type of testing which we do, non-functional testing. Okay, and JMeter is one of the tool using which we do performance testing. The performance testing is very much demanded in the market because it is a niche skill. We develop things, we develop scripts. Okay, that is why it is always a hot cake in the market. There are so many performance testing jobs, but there are not enough performance testing associates available in the market. So performance testing has always high demand in the market. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, if I join, like if I join this JMeter training, it covers the performance testing or not. Then
In
I
this
want to learn the
JMeter, yes,
separately.
yeah, yes. No, see, in this group already there are videos shared on performance testing basics, right? So those videos will help you to understand performance testing completely. Along with that, I am going to cover all these topics about performance testing. So it will give you a fair idea about performance testing. Then how we are going to do that with the help of JMeter, I'm going to explain that. But if you are looking for real-time project basically on performance testing, over here we are not going to really do a real-time project, but we are going to learn about the tool known as JMeter. And for your performance testing understanding, already few days back in the same group, the videos have been shared on performance testing, basics. If you want to learn, I think there are around 17 videos. So maybe we'll again reshare in the group, and along with that I'm also going to cover in the beginning about performance testing. But you are going to achieve performance testing with the help of the JMeter tool. Clear, all of you? Any queries? Any other queries, anyone till now?
Uh, Hi sir, here Ashish here, Ashish Nipanin. I have one query. In case right now we are talking about the JMeter tool, okay, for the performance testing. So after completion of this course, can I implement or use LoadRunner as well using this concept?
Yes, basically, you see, the performance testing concepts are the same, and if you understand one tool, it will be really easier for you to understand another tool. But yes, you have to do hands-on on LoadRunner, and you have to also learn about LoadRunner a bit. To be very honest, if you understand JMeter, you understand the concepts because the concepts are going to remain the same. Whatever activities we carry out in performance testing, as well as in when we develop a script, what all different steps we do, that remains the same. But how it is implemented in different tools, that is different. Okay, so I would say that if you know JMeter, in order to work on LoadRunner, you have to do hands-on on LoadRunner also. You have to learn that tool. Okay, so on learning JMeter is not going to completely make you, you know, foolproof in LoadRunner.
Okay sir, thank you. Got it.
Thank you. Any other queries, anyone?
Yes, Chandra. Savali
So,
here.
yeah, tell me.
So, JMeter is language dependent. Like in my organization, multiple applications are in .NET. So, JMeter will be useful for it.
Yes, definitely. The .NET applications can be, if the test scripts can be developed for .NET applications also using JMeter. And that is where I am going to tell you, like when you are going to start a performance testing project, what are the best practices you should follow, what are the steps you should follow. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, yeah. So in addition to that, which tool is compatible with your application, for that we normally have to do a proof of concept. Okay, then only we can say, because technology might be the same, but again there could be some applications where the tool might not be compatible, right? So for that purpose we have to do the proof of concept. Am I clear?
We need learn any programming languages for performance testing purpose or JMeter purpose.
Very good question. So in most of the cases programming language is not required, but in case your application is complex, okay, in case your application is complex, and in very rare cases, you know, when you are not able to achieve or you are not able to develop your scripts with JMeter core functionalities, in that case, you might need help of different scripting languages. It could be Java, it could be Groovy, it could be WinShell, it could be JavaScript. Okay, so it depends, but in most of the cases, it is not required. If the application is very complex and you are not able to, achieve some functionality of the test script using the core functionalities of JMeter, in that case you might need to go for custom coding, but it is very rare. Okay,
Okay, did you learn any critical topic like that? You said some
as
programming
I told
language.
you, yes, as I told you, we are going to cover Groovy scripting language as part of this training.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go to the next topics. So the next one is the history of JMeter. Okay, so after completing the performance testing introduction, the different phases and all, we'll go into the history of JMeter. So we are going to see what all different protocols are supported by JMeter. Now, protocol is basically the mode of communication between the client and the server, right? So whenever we are this, there will be different kinds of applications, different kinds of protocols. So what are the different protocols which are supported by JMeter? What are the different features which are available with JMeter? And then we are going to see how to install JMeter. So before installing JMeter, there are some prerequisites which have to be met. Clear? There are some prerequisites which have to be met. So we are going to see what are the prerequisites for JMeter installation. And guys, JMeter is based on Java programming language. Okay, so we have to install Java. So that is what we are going to see, the Java installation, then how to set up Java environment variables, system variables. So they are, prerequisites that I'm going to cover. Then how to install JMeter. So basically we have to download JMeter, then how to install JMeter, then how to launch JMeter on Windows operating system, that I'm going to cover. Then we are also going to see about the browser developer tool, guys. Okay, because when we are going to deal with applications, we have to deal with requests, we have to deal with response, we have to deal with cookie, we have to deal with cache. So you need to understand all these concepts. Then only you will be able to work with the performance testing tools. Or in fact, for performance testing, these all things are required, guys, because you have to analyze the request, you have to analyze the response. It's like, in functional testing there are like two types of tests, I believe, like black box, white box. In black box, you do not bother what is there inside the code, right? You simply give some inputs and you check the output. But here it's not like that. If it would be that easy, everyone would be a performance test engineer. But again, guys, I'm not trying to scare you, but it is not that difficult also. If you want to upgrade yourself, if you want to upskill yourself, definitely in the testing space, in the testing area, performance testing is a niche skill. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the browser developer tool. Then I'm going to discuss about the details of your HTTP HTTPS protocol, like what is the request, what is the response, what is the header. Okay, what are the different types of request methods. Like when a request goes to the server, there can be different types of requests which can go into the server. So what are the different types of request methods, and that request will be processed by the server will send back the response. So what are the different types of response status codes. So how do you know whether a response has been successful, how do you know whether a response has failed. So those all things you will get to know from the details of HTTPS protocol. Once we discuss this, then we will jump into test script development with JMeter. Means how we develop test scripts. Okay, see guys, we do not write test cases in performance testing. Okay, we develop test scripts. So some of you might be feeling bored while writing test cases. So then performance testing is the best area to switch. Okay, you will find it exciting. To be honest, you will find it exciting. Okay, so coming to JMeter scripting, guys, I'm going to tell you about 12 major components of JMeter. Okay, 12 major components of JMeter, what is their significance and how to use them. Then I have next topic is proxy server setup. Okay, to record your test scripts. Now why this is required, I'm going to cover that in details during the sessions. Why we need a proxy server setup, what is the reason behind that, how to do that. Okay, so these all things I'm going to cover in details during the session. Then I'm going to show you how to do the recording of the test scripts with different browsers. I'm going to give you a demo on how to, so I'll show you how to set up the proxy and all. Then we are going to see how to record the scripts in different browsers. Then we are going to see how to filter different irrelevant requests. So right now you might not be able to understand this, but when we go to the particular session, I'll tell you in details. So what is the significance of this filtering of irrelevant requests and embedded resources. Then I'm going to show you JMeter certificate installation on different browsers. We need the JMeter certificate to be installed on the different browsers on which we want to do the recording. So that I'm going to show you. Then the test script recording, guys. So we are going to see the test script recording, how to record the test script. Next, certificate regeneration. Okay, we are going to see certificate regeneration. And then we have one major element in JMeter, that is the HTTPS test script recorder. We are going to discuss in details about each and every element in JMeter, guys. Okay, so one of the major element for recording purpose is HTTPS test script recorder. So I'm going to explain the details about it, its attributes, its significance, all those things. And then what are the best practices when we are going to do the recording, when we are going to do the test script development, what are the best practices which we should follow, and in the HTTPS test script recorder, what are the best practices as far as the settings are concerned. And then JMeter, when we download JMeter, when we install JMeter, it will have different directories, right? Files, folders, and all. I'll give you a walkthrough of the various files, various folders, and then the explanation about the JMeter properties file. Then we are going to discuss about the JMeter plugin manager. Okay, what is JMeter plugin? So some of the features, the core features in JMeter, you might not be able to meet something with the core features, so you could also use the JMeter plugins, which will enhance the functionality of JMeter. To manage the plugins, we need the JMeter plugin manager. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about the JMeter plugin manager, how to install plugins, how to uninstall plugins, all those things. Next, whenever we are going to do the performance testing, the major challenge people face is how to identify which all scenarios should be part of performance testing, or which all scenarios should be candidates for performance testing. How to identify those scenarios, that I'm going to explain, and how to document the transaction flow document. And then we are going to do the end-to-end scenario recording. Once your test scenario is recorded, once your user journey is recorded, we are going to see the test script generation, how to generate the test script in JMeter. And only once you do the recording, your script is not ready, guys. Again, if that would be the case, again it would be very easy, right? We simply record this scenario and our test script is ready. No, that is not the case. We have to enhance our test script. Okay, we have to enhance our test script. So we are going to do the enhancement of these scenarios which we have recorded in JMeter. So what are the best practices while you do the scripting, while you do the enhancement, that I'm going to discuss. Then two very important concepts, correlation and parameterization. And remember, guys, when I'm going to cover each and every topic, right, I'm going to discuss the interview questions around those as well. Whatever interview questions you can expect around those topics, I'm going to cover them also during the sessions. So two very important concepts. Whoever has given interviews related to performance testing jobs, you might have got questions on correlation, parameterization, right? So I'm going to explain correlation, I'm going to explain parameterization, what is the fundamental concepts behind them, why are they required. Okay, and then one topic related to correlation is the regular expression in JMeter, so that I'm going to explain how to create a regular expression, how to do correlation, and the real-time examples, okay, for those I'm sorry, for those correlations. Then we have the CSV dataset config is another element which is required for parameterization, that I am going to explain you. How to set up the test data for our test scripts, and then the random CSV dataset config is another element which I am going to explain. Authorization tokens. So when we are doing the test script development, we might have to deal with authorization tokens. So how can we handle those authorization tokens, that I'm going to explain. And then we are also going to look into the API testing, guys, web services test design. most of you also would be involved in API testing. For functional testing also you do API testing. Similarly for performance testing also you do the performance testing of the APIs. So I'm also going to show you the web services test design, the API test design with JMeter. I'll take a pause here again. Any queries, anyone? So these are the different topics which we are going to cover as part of JMeter scripting.
Okay, in JMeter scripting, we have to validate only web applications or mobile applications also.
Now, as part of this training, we have only web applications. We have a separate batch running for mobile applications.
Okay, using JMeter, we have to test both applications like web applications and mobile applications also, right?
It is not always the case. It depends on your project. If in your project you have web applications only to test, you have to do the testing of web applications. If in your project you have to do the testing of mobile applications, you have to do the performance testing of mobile applications. And if it
Yeah,
is
and
both, then you have to do it for both. It depends on
yeah,
your project.
and like if we learn using JMeter, we have to learn here only web application testing. Suppose if we get a project like a mobile application project, what should we do? We have to perform it. We have to manage it. We have to manageable or not. Like if we
No,
learn web
so okay, let me cover that. I'm
uh,
going to, as part of my bonus topics, I'll tell you how you can do once what are the steps, initial steps for mobile application. You see, when you have to do the mobile application performance testing with JMeter, the initial steps for recording is only going to change. After your recording, same process you have to follow. So that part I'll cover, okay, as part of this training, how you are going to do the recording of mobile applications using JMeter. Only the theory part.
okay.
Yeah. Because we have another training, exclusive training for mobile application performance testing with LoadRunner and JMeter, where we cover that in details over there. Okay, any other queries, anyone?
The training will be based on real-time web application.
We have some exclusive applications, web applications that we are going to use for this training. Any other queries, anyone? Any other queries, anyone, on the topics covered till now?
API
Okay.
testing is also covered, right? API testing also.
Yes, yes, API testing is covered. Any other queries?
Yeah, hi sir, this is Vamshi.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can call me
is training
Chandra.
is enough for 3 years experience?
Ah, see, very good question actually. If you attend these sessions regularly, okay, if you attend these sessions regularly and if you do the hands-on, okay, you get your queries resolved. Definitely at the end of the course, you can say that you have 3 years of experience in performance system. With the training which I'm going to provide, you will definitely be able to tell because I'm going to explain you the process. I'm going to explain you the tool, the steps for script development, execution, and all. You can definitely say that you have 3 years of experience in performance system. But
Yeah, thank you.
effort needs to be there from your side as well. It's not that you simply register for the course for the training and at the end of the training you expect that we can say that we have 3 years of experience. That is not right. You have to spend time, you have to spend efforts, okay, on the training and as well as hands-on from your side. You have to be
Yeah,
sincere to
okay, sure.
yourself. Any other queries? Okay. Next, once we are done with JMeter scripting, guys, we are going to see the next topic, that is BlazeMeter. Okay, BlazeMeter. Now, BlazeMeter is another tool again. Okay. Now, I'll introduce you to BlazeMeter, and I'm going to tell you how to develop test scripts with BlazeMeter as well. And also, I'm going to explain you in which all scenarios, in which all use cases we need to develop the test script with BlazeMeter. Because you will have a question in mind, right? That we are going to develop scripts with JMeter, then where does BlazeMeter come into picture, right? Because people ask us questions about BlazeMeter. That is why this topic has also been included in the training plan. That I'm going to show you how to do the test script development with BlazeMeter, and in the first place, why that could be required. Because we already have JMeter, but why that could be required to record the scripts in BlazeMeter, that I'm going to explain. Then I'm going to introduce you to the world of Kubernetes, Docker, microservices, micro frontends. Okay, so that I'm going to discuss with you. I'm going to introduce you to them. And when if your application is based on microservices, because nowadays in most of the projects you will see applications getting developed using microservices architecture, right? So what should be your approach? How to do the test script development for microservices? That thing also I'm going to cover as part of this. Next, we go to JMeter test execution, guys. Okay, so I'll show you how to do the test execution in non-GUI mode. Now I'm telling you about non-GUI mode. So there are different modes in JMeter. Okay, GUI mode, non-GUI mode, server mode. So we are going to see, how we can conduct the JMeter test execution in non-GUI mode. Then what is the Java heap size settings? This one I'll not discuss in details over here. This one will be covered in the session. Then we have one element known as test summarizer. So how to understand the test summarizer, that I'm going to discuss. Okay. Next, uh, what are the different attributes of the test summarizer? So in the test summarizer, we'll be able to see different values. So what are the attributes of the test summarizer? How can you increase or decrease the summarizer time? Okay. So how can we do that? This is a very important interview question, guys. Once your test execution is in progress, how can you stop a test which is already running in the non-GUI mode? That we are going to see. So how to stop the test which is already running in the non-GUI mode? Then test execution in GUI mode, guys. That also I'm going to explain you how you can do the test execution in GUI mode. HTML report generation. Um, So how means when our test execution is completed, JMeter has the capability to generate the test report, guys. So how you can generate the HTML test report in the GUI mode for JMeter. Then we have one important file known as the JTL file, JMeter test log file. Okay, what is the importance of that file? And then how to understand the JMeter HTML report, the HTML report which is generated. How do we understand that? How to analyze the JMeter HTML report? Okay, which are the different key areas which you should look into at the report. And the HTML report which is generated, in that you will get the timings in milliseconds. Okay, you will get the timings in milliseconds. So how you can change the response time values to seconds in the HTML report? This is again a very important interview question. Then I'll introduce you to the world of JMeter functions. Okay, what are JMeter functions? That we are going to discuss, and we are going to discuss the P function in details. So how we can parameterize the important parameters using the P function, and why should we use this function, that I'm going to discuss. Then we have the non-GUI mode I told you, right? So non-GUI mode is also known as the CLI mode, the command line interface mode. So how can we pass arguments from the command line interface mode during our non-GUI mode execution? Then what is the scope of JMeter elements? What is the scope of JMeter variables? That we are going to discuss. What is local variable? What is global variable concept in JMeter? What is relative path and absolute path? How to set it up in JMeter? Then one very important concept known as distributed load testing, or you might have heard about master slave concept in JMeter. So that we are going to see, that we are going to implement as well. And then we are going to see how to do the distributed testing mode in JMeter. Then test execution and reporting, guys. How to do the test execution in JMeter, how to do the test reporting in JMeter. And then very important topic is test execution with bandwidth throttling. Bandwidth throttling means changing the network speed, doing your test executions with different network speed. How is that possible with JMeter? Yes, it is possible, and I'm going to explain you how you can do that. Many people are not aware of it, but yes, there is a capability in JMeter where you can do the bandwidth throttling test as well. Any queries, anyone?
I just want to check what is the length of the whole session.
Yeah, the training will be covered in 40 to 45 hours,
Okay.
because this, with this training, like you are going to become a JMeter beginner, and then you are going to become the JMeter master as well. Whoever is not aware of JMeter at all, at the end of the course also, they will have good grip on JMeter. It is actually
Got
a bit of lengthy course, but my focus is you should get the best out of it. It's not that we are simply doing the trainings just like that. The main objective is that the trainees should get the best out of it. They should understand, they should get some value out of it, right? They should be able to implement it in their projects.
got it. Thank you.
Any other queries, anyone?
Yes. I have one question, Chandra,
Yeah,
which is Sai Kumar.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, I have basic currently working Jmeter project. My concern in this part, I want to be generate that output HTML report in second mode, not currently it's default it's going to be generating I mean microseconds, right? So I want to be
In
generate.
milliseconds.
Yes, milliseconds. It's automatically generating the report. I mean, example, aggregate report. I used to take
Yeah.
aggregate report from the transaction response time for average, maximum, and the error. Those kind of criteria will get from that. My concern in this part, I want to generate. Is it possible to generate that values from milliseconds to seconds? If the conversation is able to do.
Yes, we can do that. That is why this topic is there, right? Changing response time values to seconds in HTML report.
The
That I'm
meaning
going to
of this.
cover.
Okay,
Sorry?
okay, okay. No, no. My concern in this part. After generating a report, you need to convert the second, or once it is
No, no, no,
after
no. Before generating the
starting
report,
the
we have to do.
execution, we need to set the
We,
some settings, right? The,
yes,
and
yes.
the,
And based on
okay,
that, your
okay,
report will be generated.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah, this is my next question. Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
Hi, Chandra.
yeah. Tell me.
Hello. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, am I
Hi,
audible?
Chandra. Hi, very good evening.
Yeah, good
So,
evening.
Chandra, my question is,
will you be able to provide this course content to us in this along the with this video today? And apart from that,
Yes, yes.
if
This link will ping this link in the group where you will be able to. I think that is already there. Okay, in the group.
okay, okay.
Yes,
So
yes,
we'll check it. If it is not available there, then we can ask for the course content first.
yes,
And
yes.
second thing is, if since I am having 9 years of experience into QA, having like manual API and database testing, so I am
Yeah.
just looking to shift my career in performance testing. So, what exactly the effort is needed to move into performance?
I'll say you attend these sessions, regularly,
Yeah.
and do the hands-on. You see, I
Okay.
am going to cover everything, but you have to put in your efforts to do the hands-on. You have to understand.
Okay.
You ask as
Okay.
many queries as possible. Okay,
Okay.
and try to develop some scripts on your own. Definitely when we have already covered those sessions, you can do the hands-on and develop the scripts. Then you try to understand what are things we are doing in each phase, right? And then you will be
Okay.
able to definitely, means you do not have to uh, you know give much efforts to understand performance system. And yes, real-time project experience is definitely required, so you can, in whatever organization you're currently working, you can ask in that, to your supervisor, to your managers, that you want to work in performance testing as well. So you could ask that, I want to support my current project, as well as if you can offer me some performance testing project where I can act as a shadow resource. I can try to learn,
Hmm.
because no one will give you time in a company to, again completely learn and then deliver. So that is the challenge which people face. So that is the approach
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
you can take.
Okay. If this option is not available in the same organization, so what should we? So, how can I, if after completion this course, can I show any like any kind of experience using performance testing?
Definitely you can show. As I told you, you can show the experience of 2 to 3 years, definitely, because I'm going to discuss the interview questions. Okay, so
Okay.
those kind of questions you will be expecting in an interview when you are mentioning 2 to 3 years, and you can
Hmm.
definitely answer those questions.
Okay. So
But yes,
answer.
hands-on is required, because once you get into that project, you have to deliver also, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the main thing actually. So answer to answer the question, it is like not a big thing, but to
No,
deliver the things.
but I'm going to demonstrate you as well, right? So whatever topics we are going to cover, that I'm going to demonstrate as well, and then we are going to see them. So you have to do the hands-on, so you get that experience, right? And then you can
Okay.
definitely implement that.
Okay, and apart from that, if while working in an organization, so is there any kind of support from your side? Is there any option like that?
So whenever you have any queries from the sessions which have been conducted,
Mm-hmm.
I'll there be, to resolve your queries.
Mm-hmm.
But for project specific support, actually it could be a problem for at your end as well. Okay, but yes, whenever you have any queries, definitely I'll be there to resolve your queries. That I have been doing already. People who have already undertaken the course, they ask the queries when which they are facing in the
Mm-hmm.
real projects, and I have been,
Mm-hmm.
resolving them as well.
So this session will set the same time regularly, right? For
Yes,
42 hours.
yes, yes.
So
45 hours maybe.
45 hours, okay. So including Saturday, Sunday, or Monday to Friday?
No, no, no. This will only be on weekdays, not on weekends.
Okay, Monday to Friday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's fine from my side. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other queries, anyone?
One
Hi,
query.
Chandra.
Will you be giving some homework for hands-on every day after the class?
No, actually, I won't be giving any homework. So whatever topics, because we have good experienced guys, and I do not want to be a class teacher here. Okay, so the topics whatever we are going to cover, I'll always expect you all to go through those sessions, go back and do the hands-on, and come back for the next session.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hi Chandra.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, will be like will be getting any course material for this specific course?
Yeah, so whatever documents, whatever materials we are going to cover, so those we are going means those will be shared with you all.
Okay. One more question. What type of applications we are going to do this performance testing? Like, is there any exclusive applications from Isha side, or we'll be using demo applications?
We'll be using demo applications, and we have exclusive applications as well, so it will depend on the scenario.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Any other queries, anyone? Okay, so then coming to the next topic, we are going to discuss about all the different JMeter elements, their sub-elements, and their attributes in detail. Like what is a test plan in JMeter, what are the non-test elements, what is a thread group, the detailed explanation about thread group, controller elements of JMeter, then sampler elements of JMeter, config elements of JMeter, assertion elements of JMeter, timer elements of JMeter. Then very important guys, spacing and think time. Okay, and with this spacing and think time, I'm going to cover the workload model designing as well. Okay, so how to achieve that in JMeter, that I'm going to discuss. Then the listener elements, pre-processor, post-processor. I'll not go into the details of them now because I do not want to overload you with information. Okay, so when the training progresses, we are going to look into each of them. Then I'm going to introduce you to the world of InfluxDB and Grafana, and I'll show you how to integrate your JMeter tool with InfluxDB and Grafana. So InfluxDB is a time series database, guys, and Grafana is basically used to view the results in real time with beautiful dashboards and all. So you can integrate JMeter with InfluxDB and Grafana. That I'm going to show you. Then Groovy Scripting. So we are going to see how to do the Groovy scripting. So introduction to Groovy, then there is one element known as JSR 223 that I'm going to explain. Then Groovy comment, print, variables, and then Groovy operators, Groovy variables, Groovy real life examples. Then we are going to see the Dynatrace integration. So in this, I'm going to cover the topics on Dynatrace also, which are required for a performance test engineer to analyze the test execution results, and also show you the integration of JMeter with Dynatrace. Also, I'm going to cover the integration of JMeter with Jenkins as well. Okay, so this is the course content which we are going to cover as part of this training, guys. Any queries, anyone?
Why we are using only JMeter like Groovy?
No, in JMeter you have the flexibility to use Groovy or WinShell or Java or JavaScript. You know, however, JMeter is a product of the Apache Software Foundation, and the Apache Software Foundation recommends Groovy to be used in JMeter. The performance is better with Groovy, guys.
Like which programming like which Groovy or any other thing they are using like what is trending now?
As I told you, Groovy is recommended by Apache, so people will use Groovy or Winshell. Most of the time you will see people using Winshell or Groovy. Okay, but anyone is fine. Performance of Groovy is better than Winshell.
So you covered both, right?
No, I'm going to cover only Groovy as part of this training. As I told you, you can do the scripting with Groovy or you can do the scripting with Winshell. The objective is the same, only the implementation is different, guys.
I mean, like functionality, everything same or different?
So that means that means, sorry, can you please go ahead?
Yeah, see, like you have different programming languages, right? Similarly, they are different scripting languages. If you have been given a task, you can either use Groovy or you can use Winshell. As part of this training, Groovy will be covered. And Apache Software Foundation recommends Groovy to be used in JMeter.
Most of the organizations, which one using?
No, it depends on the test engineers. Whoever is comfortable with which language, they will use that. It is not related to any organization. No organization will tell you you use Groovy or you use Winshell. It is up to the test engineer.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Any other queries, anyone?
Yeah, Chandra. So to get hands-on experience, like how we will get to know the test scenarios, like we have to do this.
That I'm going to explain you, right? Whatever, see, every session whatever you are going to be covering, that will be demonstrated. Everything is demo, nothing theoretical. Okay,
Okay.
in the beginning only we are going to see the performance test introduction and performance test phases. Over there we are going to have some theory. After that everything is practical, so whatever is going to be covered in the sessions, you have to do the hands-on on goals.
Okay. So if we stuck somewhere while practicing, like how can we approach you?
You will just ping your queries in the group and I'll be there to resolve them, or you ping those
Okay.
queries in, or you tell those queries in the session and I'll be there to resolve them.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chandra, this is Sai Kumar.
Yeah.
So as you said, Groovy scripting going to be implemented. So for that purpose, I mean, we should know the basic concepts. I mean, basic
Yes, basic
knowledge
basic
on.
programming basic programming knowledge is required. Along with that, the way I'm going to cover, it will be easier for you because I'm going to
Mhm.
cover from the beginning. Okay, I'll not directly
Mhm.
not jump into scripting. I'll tell you the concepts and how to start with and all. Like as I told you in Groovy, I'm going to cover. I'm going to start with like introduction, then how to write a comment, how to print, how then the variables concept, the operators, Groovy variables, right? And then we'll dive into the examples, which will give you a
And
fair
one
idea.
more, okay. And one more
Yeah,
question. So we also have the looping activities also in JMeter. So those will also cover
looping
looping.
activities, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so that is done with another element. So you see here, I'm going to cover each and every element here, controller elements, right? So using controller
Okay.
element,
Okay.
we can do the looping and all.
Sure. Okay.
Any other queries?
Without knowing the performance testing directly, we have to join this course.
Yeah, so you can join. Means if your question is that if I do not know performance testing, can I join this course? Definitely you can join because you will be able to understand performance testing also from this course. And as I told, already the videos have been shared for the basics of performance testing, which have been covered by Kumar sir. So those videos are very good if you want to understand about performance testing. Any other queries? So I was also planning to start the sessions as well, but due to shortage of time, we'll have to stop the session here today. So thank you all for joining. I hope you all enjoyed the demo session. Have a good night and have a good one. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.